Good morning, students. Welcome to e-learning. Today we are going to start a new unit of your English course book, Unit 4, and the unit is themed on my country. That is, in the next 3 chapters, we are going to study about our nation. So, but before starting the unit and going over to the poem section A, there are some warm-up activities which are given to you. So, first activity is, over the course of Indian freedom movement, Indian freedom fighters adopted a number of flags. Write the years under the flags to show when they were adopted. So these are the years are given, and there are certain flags which were adopted during our freedom struggle. So this was the flag in 1931. This was our national flag in 1931. This was in 1907. In 1921, this was our flag looked like this. And the present flag, the tricolor which we call, was adopted in 1947, in the year of our independence. After our independence, our flag was selected like this. In the year 1917, our flag looked like this. So next is, you must have heard of or read the slogan, Incredible India. Incredible means अतुल्य भारत. भारत की किसी के साथ तुलना नहीं की जा सकती. Geographic, biological, linguistic and religious diversity. Diversity, you have read the chapter of diversity in class 6. Although we have very diverse religions, we have diverse communities, we have diverse languages, diverse biological situation, diverse means different, various geographical situation, but still we are one. Along with our culture and artistic heritage, contribute to this hue of incredibility. Hue means color of incredibility. Rearrange these groups of letters to find a few things that make India incredible. First one is one of the oldest cities of the world, that is Varanasi. A traditional folk dance of Rajasthan, Ghumar. The oldest dance form in India, Kudiyakattam. One of the major epics of ancient India, Mahabharata. A majestic animal native to the Indian subcontinent, Bengal tiger. Home to the Sundari trees and numerous other flora fauna, Sundarbans. A series of cave monuments containing beautiful paintings and sculptures, Ajanta. World's second longest beach running along the eastern coastline of India, Marina. So these are the activities, and one activity which I would like you to do is recall the national anthem of India. A number of places are named in it. Can you point out these out in a physical map of India? So this is the activity. You have to do it in your copies. What you have to do is paste a physical map of India in your English notebook and point out, mark all the places which are mentioned in our national anthem in that physical map and send me the photographs. I want to see that this activity done when we will have our next online class on Google Meet. Okay, so let's come to our section A, that is a poem, A Nation's Strength. It is written by William Ralph Emerson. He was born in 1833. He was an architect who builds buildings. He was the second cousin of Ralph Waldo Emerson. He designed several iconic buildings in United States. Now it's a very beautiful poem, very powerful. Strength means power, takat. What do you think makes a nation great? Name some people who make you feel proud of your country, like our soldiers, our doctors right now, the medical staff. They are making us proud because every day and night they are working hard and they are sacrificing their lives for us right now, right? So anytime we must be proud of our soldiers who are fighting for us, who are guiding our guarding our border areas, boundaries all the time, and they are spending sleepless nights over there on the border, whereas we are sitting at a home in the comfort of our home, and we are having very sound sleep at home. So we should be thankful to these people, the doctors, the nurses, the paramedics, and most of all our soldiers. So yesterday I sent you the reading of the poem. I hope you have read the poem very nicely, and let's do the explanation. Let's start with the explanation of the poem. There are certain figure of speech used in the poem as well that I will explain in my next video. First, let's look at the explanation. What makes a nation's pillar high and its foundations strong? What makes it mighty to defy the foe that round it throng? So, nation's pillar. The poet starts the poem with the rhetorical question कि किसी भी देश को क्या चीज़ सबसे पावरफुल बनाती है, क्या चीज़ उसकी 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 स्ट्रेंथ क्या चीज़ होती है. Pillars here refer to the ideals, the principles, values. किस तरह से अपने आइडियल्स और प्रिंसिपल को हम हाई कर सकते हैं, हम पावरफुल बना सकते हैं. And its foundation strong. Foundation means base. How can we make our nation's base strong? What makes it mighty? Mighty means powerful. To defy. Defy means challenge. The foes. Foes means enemies. That rounded throng. That rounded throng means चारों तरफ से घेर के खड़े होना. So, foes, the enemies that attack from all sides. How can we save our nation from the enemies who are challenging us from all four sides? किस तरह से हम अपने देश को बचा सकते हैं? How can we save our nation, our country? So this is these are the two questions rhetoric questions which he poses in the very first stanza. Now, in the next stanza, he gives out the answer. Is it not gold? Gold means wealth, power, money, property, or आज की डेट में information. Is it not all these things? All these things combined to make wealth. It's kingdom grand. Kingdom means the nation grand. Does all these things, does the wealth of a nation makes it grand, big, strong? Go down the battle shock. But I think, then he says that I think it's not gold, it's not wealth, it's not property, it's not money that makes a nation grand, nation strong. Because as soon as somebody attacks you, it goes down. हमारे भारत को सोने की चिड़िया कहा जाता था. ब्रिटिशर्स ने अटैक किया, बहुत लोगों ने अटैक किया. यू मस्ट हैव रेड इन हिस्ट्री कि बहुत लोगों ने इस पे अटैक किया और सारी वेल्थ ले गए. तो क्या हमारा देश स्ट्रांग बना उस वेल्थ से? नो, वेल्थ कैन नॉट मेक अ नेशन स्ट्रांग बिकॉज इट गोज डाउन in its shafts. Shafts means underground passages. Underground passages refer to the secrets. Secret passages are laid on sinking sand. Because sinking sand means डूबते हुए, बेसलेस सैंड पे, कमज़ोर सैंड पे खड़ी होती हैं वो. not on the abiding rock. Abiding means long lasting, strong, powerful. Rocks पे नहीं खड़े होती हैं wealth. So, if a nation has all the wealth in the world, it cannot be called strong, because the wealth cannot make a nation strong. So, it is not the wealth, the property, which makes the nation strong, because wealth has its foundation, has its base laid on sinking sand, not on long lasting rocks. Let's see the next stanza. Is it the sword, asks the red dust of empires passed away? The blood has turned their stones to rust, their glory to decay. So now again he asks a rhetorical question. Rhetorical means conversational question, that is it the sword? Sword means the strength. But how can a sword? Sword means कि battles, जितनी वॉर एमिनेशंस जितने किसी देश के पास होंगे, जितनी किसी भी देश की वॉर पावर जितनी स्ट्रांग होगी, क्या उससे वो स्ट्रांग बनेगा नेशन, देश? नहीं. बिकॉज वॉर्स, द स्पोर्ट्स, द एमिनेशंस कैन ओनली ब्रिंग ब्लडशेड. वो खून ही बहाएंगे, वो लोगों को मारेंगे. दे कैन नॉट ब्रिंग ग्लोरी. This is what the poet is saying in this paragraph, that these words, they are just a symbol of power, a thing which will rust away, जिसको जंग लग जाएगा जब हम नहीं यूज करेंगे. So you can see all the big empires of the past. हम किन राजाओं को याद करते हैं? whom we remember the most? Those who have fought so many battles, who have brought so many bloodshed in the past, or those who tried to flourish the kingdom more, who tried to do something better for the people? किसको याद करते हैं? किसको हम अच्छा राजा मानते हैं? जिसने लड़ाइयाँ करके सारी जनता को मार डाला, या जिसने हमारी जो लोगों की, अपनी जनता के लिए अच्छे काम किए, कुछ बिल्डिंग्स बनवाई, कुछ उनकी बेटरमेंट के लिए, किंगडम की बेटरमेंट के लिए काम किया? किसको हम ज़्यादा अच्छा मानेंगे? किसको हम याद करते हैं? Whom do we remember? The one who shed the blood, or those who did something great for the people? So, here in this stanza, the poet says that the swords cannot bring strength, cannot be a nation's strength, because they only shed blood. Ask the red dust. Red dust means blooded sand covered in blood, of empires passed away, because all the empires, those who have passed away, those who have gone, faded away, they faded away because they shed so much blood. They wasted the blood of their people. The blood has turned their stones to rust. Stones means buildings, to rust. Rust means dust. खाक बना दिया उनको. And their glory to decay. Glory means the victory. To decay. Decay means खत्म हो जाना. Slaughter. So, in this stanza, the poet says that the swords, the strength, the ammunition, the wars cannot bring glory, bring strength to the nation. Wars cannot be, the swords cannot be a nation's strength. So it cannot be gold, it cannot be swords. So that's all in this video, my dear students. If you have any difficulty, do call me or message me. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.